Jake here for American Trucks, and today I am talking with Troy, and we're going to be talking about his 2020 GMC Sierra 1500 AT4. Troy's got a pretty cool setup here. He's got 22 by 10 inch fuel sledge wheels with a -18 offset, Toyo Open Country RT 35 by 12.5 inch tires, and a FabTech 4-inch performance suspension lift kit with the stock AT4 2-inch spacer, with those Dirt Logic 2.5 reservoir coilovers in the front and Dirt Logic 2.25 shocks in the rear for overall 6 inches of lift. You've done quite a few different things to this truck, but what made you decide to go with this sort of setup?
Initially, when I bought this truck, Chevy does their own lifts on their trucks called Black Widows. The price point on those trucks were pretty high, roughly about $25,000 more. So that was kind of my model, was to do what they did with a lower budget.
So you're running, again, the fuel sledge wheels. They're 22 by 10s with a -18mm offset, and they're in that matte and gloss black. What do you like about this setup? Was it the looks? Was it the feel of it? Was it something else that drew you to this?
I mainly like the look of that. My last truck was really chromed out. I really like the black wheels this time to change it up. My current truck has, some black accents on it, so I thought it would look nice to do matte and the shiny as well.
Was there something that drew you to the fuel sledge wheels in particular? Was there something about the style of them?
I searched quite a bit, looking at different style of wheels. I think the main thing that drove me to those was that it had the combination of the matte black as well as the glass barrels on them. I also liked that they were also an all black wheel, which is kind of tough to find. A lot of wheels will have some chrome accents or gunmetal accents. That was the main reason I went with those.
So again, you're running the Toyo Open Country RTs. They're 35 by 12.5 on 22-inch wheels. I think they fill out the wheel well pretty nicely. What made you go with the 35s versus, I think the AT4s come with 33s stock. So what made you decide to go up the size?
With the lift kit, the stock tires wouldn't fit anymore. They had 18-inch wheels on it. I had to go with a bigger wheel, and obviously I was wanting to do that. Once I made that decision with a 6-inch lift, I think it looks so much nicer with bigger wheels and tires in there, to fill up that wheel well.
Toyo sort of bills this tire as like an in-between. It's not quite a mud terrain, but it's not quite like a highway or all-terrain, more street-focused tire. How have you found this one in your driving? I mean, are you doing a lot of off-roading with it where you're taking advantage of that, or is it something that you just like because it's, it's got some capability, but it's still quiet on the street? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
That tire actually has been really good. I've been really surprised at how well it wears. They've hardly got any wear on them at all. They've worn really fairly even across the tops. They're pretty quiet on the highway. They're definitely quieter than the MTs were.
Did you have to do anything as far as like recalibrating the speedometer or the odometer because you moved up that bigger wheel and tire size?
Yeah, GMC's kind of really locked down their control units in their trucks, so they have to go with something aftermarket. I went with a HyperTech calibrator on it to get the mileage back in the specs.
So again, you're running the FabTech 4-inch performance suspension lift kit with the Dirt Logic 2.5 reservoir coilovers and the Dirt Logic 2.25s in the rear. This combined with the stock AT4 spacers, because they come with a stock 2-inch spacer, that's giving you 6 inches of total lift across the truck, and it kind of looks like it leveled it out too, right?
Initially, I ended up putting the FabTech base lift package with the performance shocks. My truck really had a positive rake to it, so it wasn't level out at all. And the tires rubbed as well. The garage that did it said the only way I was going to get rid of the rake was to put coilovers on. I ordered those. At that point, we were able to get my truck leveled out. The rubs went away. Now that we've got the coilovers on, I was able to gain that extra probably ½ inch to an inch that I wanted to level it out.
When you first started doing these mods, you were having some issues with rubbing and fitment with the larger tires. So just to clarify, you're not having any issues now, correct?
No, I'm not, no.
Was there something in particular that drew you to them?
I entertained the idea of possibly doing Fox reservoirs on it, and seeing I already had the FabTech lift on it, I decided to go with their coil, their reservoir. I also have off-roaded quite a bit in my truck as well. and have noticed that, the shocks will fade a bit. I haven't noticed that fade with the reservoirs, which is kind of nice.
It sounds like you kind of did a lot of this stuff all at the same time, but did you notice a big difference between the stock setup and what you've got going on now?
I had the stock setup on my truck for probably about 6 months. My mileage dropped down probably about 3 to 4 miles per gallon. I think the ride's a little better actually with the reservoir stocks on it. It's got a softer ride than what it had with the stock on it.
Are you satisfied with how it looks right now with what your setup is?
Yeah, I'm happy with the way the truck came out.
So is there anything that you would do differently, knowing what you know now, having driven on it and spend some time with the truck as it sits? Anything you'd change?
No, I think, I really am happy with what I ended up with, and would probably stay with everything that I've got.
What's next? Do you have another set of mods planned?
I've done this in the past on my Tahoe. I supercharged my Tahoe. I would love to supercharge this truck.
Thank you, Troy, for being here with me today and talking about your truck. Just to go over the stats one last time for everybody, this is again a 2020 GMC Sierra 1500 AT4, and Troy is running 22 by 10 inch fuel sledge wheels with a -18 offset, Toyo Open Country RT 35 by 12.5 inch tires, and a FabTech 4-inch performance suspension lift kit with the stock AT4 2-inch spacer, with those Dirt Logic 2.5 reservoir coilovers in the front and Dirt Logic 2.25 shocks in the rear for overall 6 inches of lift. So Troy, thank you again so much for being here with me today.
Thank you, Jake. Thanks for having me.
Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And for all things Sierra related, stick with us right here at AmericanTrucks.com.